Bismillah. Welcome and thank you for tuning in to my Facebook page. I'm here live in Brooklyn, New York with Sheikh, Abdul, Azim, Sharrief. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
Ameen. On Jarama. So today we're going to actually do a part two. Those of you who follow my YouTube page or my Facebook page, you might remember that about 3 years ago, me and the Sheikh did an audio recording about Fulanisms in particular and Africanisms in general in Jamaican Patwa. So today we're going to discuss some of the same things that we discussed on the audio and go a little more in depth, and also share some other information that we didn't cover on the audio. So for my notes, let's just go back to some of the things we discussed. You mentioned something about Koromanti on the last audio that we did, last discussion that we had. I found that interesting because when I went to Futajalan, I was in a place called Koromangi, which sounds very, very similar to Koromanti. Could you tell me and the audience more about that word Koromanti in Jamaica?
Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. On jarama bandirabe tetu de worbe morbe sukabe misalmanion. I want to say that I greet everybody, the children, the ladies, the family, everybody. I send my greetings to you. In terms of the word Koromanti, there was a slave that was brought to Jamaica, and it's written down in history that said, they asked him where did he come from, and he said Koromanti. So, and most of the historians, they agree that Koromanti is a place in Ghana, and they said, some of them, that Koromanti means city. And some people has even said there's a Koromanti tribe. So I don't know. I'm not aware. They said there's a Koromanti tribe in Africa. If there is, just clarify it and send a message. But I'm not aware of any tribe in Africa called Koromanti.
Okay.
So even in Jamaica, the Maroons come from east, they come west. They're different Maroons community. But certain Maroon community in Jamaica, they speak Koromanti, which they say Koromanti language is come from Akan, which come from the tree language. But I beg to differ with it to a degree. I'm not saying that they are not individuals or group of individuals that retain the tree language. But what we are advocating, that Jamaica in general are influenced by the Fulani people, especially in the language of Patwa. That's what we are saying. We're not saying that Yoruba or Akan or Tree or these other things don't have words here or there or influence. We're just saying the majority of the words I found in Patwa comes through the Fulani language called Pular.
So you mentioned something about Jamdong in the last discussion.
Yes. In Jamaica, like, this is all you know when somebody's really from Jamaica or not. Because sometimes when a person is really from Jamaica, and you say, hey boy, where you come from? Jamdong. He'll say Jamdong in his natural state. But if it's somebody who's a foreigner, then he may say Jamaica. But among ourselves, Jamaicans, we say Jamdong. And as you know, Jamdong, Jamton, Jamtan, Jamwaniton, right? Jamdong, Jamajam, Akjam,
And so what came out of the last discussion was the speech pattern, the accents, the way things are said in Jamaican Patwa that parallels to the Fulani language. So along with the words, there's this speech pattern thing.
Yes.
Yes.
For those people out there, my linguistic people, and people who know how to speak with certain accent or gather the accent of that particular language, we know that language is a rhythm. We know that language has a certain flow or a pitch. We know that the language has a certain tonation. Especially African language are tonal. So you have to say it in the right tone, or then it becomes something different, or it's not. If it's not done in that right, like in Senegal, I say number da, number da, number da. If you say number da, they don't understand what you're saying because it's not the right flow, it's not the right pitch, it's not the right tonation. So then it get dismissed. So when we talking about certain evidence, like, the tree language in Ghana has it have a certain kind of flow. You're afraid you say, Madasi, it's a Jamaican's language don't really carry that flow. Jamaicans say, wa guan, wa mwaye depan, it's a kind of drag, so it's not that chop, tonation. So, or them say, what do you? What do you? In Fulani say, awa ni.
Yes.
Me wa ni. So you'll find that you have to listen to the tonation and not just the words, but also the flow of the language.
And there are little things. We were just watching a video, and there was like the whoa, yay. And from my personal experience, when I first went to Guinea, and my wife was interpreting for me.
Yeah.
And so I would say it in English, and before she gave the Fulani interpretation, she would always say, whoa, she would say, whoa, oh, any, dot, 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 dot.
Yeah.
So tell us about that whoa, that yay, that is so common in Jamaican Patwa.
Yeah. In Jamaican Patwa and in a lot of the music, you hear the guys, them like ad-libbing, they say, hey. And there's a famous song by a guy named Tenasaw that's called Ring the Alarm. And they say, whoa, hey, ring the alarm, whoa, hey. And he keeps saying, hey. Those who speak Fulani know, hey means yes.
Yes.
Hey, yes. And those who speak Wolof or digging the Olof, wow means yes. Whoa. Hey, as the brother was saying, when his wife is going to translate, she said, whoa, to get the attention, and then she said, ene, or owi, and so forth. So, hey, if anybody disagree with that, just send me evidence.
No, it's very clear.
But go on Google, ring the alarm, boy, hey, ring the right?
That is right.
Yeah,
Gonga.
Yeah, Haligonga. Haligonga, I kite. So, so Nyam and the way they say me, like, me now go there. And I say, me oti, me yade. Me aimu,
So they say, you were mentioning how they say ya for going. Is yes in Jamaica Patwa?
Like, no, we have, as they say, ya. We say yard.
Yard.
Like, me there me yard. Me go a me yard. Me soon go a me yard. Me go there me yard.
Yes.
Right, so yard is really come from yard, but the way they use it is like how the Fulani use yade.
Yes.
Yade means to go.
To go, me yade.
Yeah, me yade. Me yade yankadi. Me yade Joni. Me yade. Me there me yard. Yeah, people not say house that much. Me them say yard. More than they like to say house. I'm going to my house. And we used to have tenement yard.
Yes.
Yeah, especially in Trench Town. The tenement yard is when a lot of different people live all in one yard, different families. And we call it tenement yard.
I think they call it galley in yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, but it's the same type of setup where you'll have a whole family,
like Bob Marley,
cousins and aunts and everybody all living in.
Yeah, Bob Marley and the Whalers, they all lived in the same yard in Trenchtown. So Bonnie Whaler lived over here in the yard. Bob lived over here in the yard, and then another one lived over in another part of the yard, but it all was in the same yard. You know, even Jacob Miller have a song that's talk about tenement yard. And you Google reggae song, you'll find songs on tenement yard. You know.
And you know, just as a side, I want to digress for one quick second. I just want to just mention like just certain artists that have strong Fulani features from the Caribbean. I was looking at you know, like Mad Lion. Oh, you look at that guy. If you ever look up Mad Lion, his face look exactly like a Fulani from Guinea. Shine, you know, the one that was with Puffy and he wanted. But if you look at Shine, I encountered Shine one time at Manhattan Center, and we both looked at each other because, and it didn't dawn on me till we walked away that he resembles my brother. And his father, if you look at Shine's father and then look up the opposition leader Selu Jallo in Guinea, and you look at those two men, they could be brothers. Like the features are very clear. Also, when the Honorable Minister Farrakhan went to Jamaica, I was looking at some of the ministers that were on the podium speaking, and I seen so many Fulani features. So, the physical evidence of Fulani people being there and their descendants are very clear, and the language again is the result of that. So going back to a language, you also mentioned something about yilde.
Yilde. Oh, Yilde. Okay.
Yilde.
Yeah. Like Jamaicans in Patwa, they want to say, I see him. That's in English, I see him.
Yes.
Right? I see him. Or they will say, I am there. I am there. Like they use in a lot of words. Wa go on. Wa do you. I am there. I am there. And in Fulani say I there. I there. Ye means to see.
Yes.
And a lot of the word is there. Because you know, there is like a preposition.
Yes.
You know,
in
there.
Jamaican Patwa.
Yeah, there. They use a lot of there. And also Fulani, they use there a lot.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Grammatical structure.
Yes.
When they say them, how they use them or them in Jamaican Patwa. Like the youth them. That's how like the youth them.
Yeah.
You know, it's and in Fulani, that grammatical structure is exactly the same. You know, they'll say yimbebe. You know, though the singers them.
Yeah.
Singers them.
Yeah.
You know, yimbebe. You know, the youth them. You know.
Yeah, Jamaicans they'll say the youth them. They will say me see them.
Right.
Me see them a come. You know.
What is it?
Huh? Me see them a come. Me see them a come.
What does that?
The I or more Hari. I see them coming. Or Hari. They're coming.
Okay.
Yeah. Like you have on, and then. You know, I see them come. There's a song, I think, a famous Jamaican song. I'm trying to use music so y'all could connect with it. Like they say, Jaja see them a come, but I are the conqueror. Jaja see them. It's a group called Culture.
Right.
They have a song with Jaja see them a come. You know, it's a very famous song. So now, so they said them boys over there, you know, I'm gonna like none of them boys over there, you know. You know, you see them there, it's them boys there, them no good. You know, them boys there, you know, Jinal. Them boys there, they're on Bandulu. Yeah, which there's a city in Senegal before you get to Gambia that's called Bandulu. Yeah, if you go to Senegal today, traveling from Kaolack and you go into Gambia or Banjul, you pass a city called Bandul, which is Bandul is a word they use in Jamaica for pull-up. It's Uncle Bandi. You know, Uncle
yes,
Bandi.
yes, Uncle Bandi. Yeah,
Uncle Bandi. Yeah, it's a Bandulu.
You're right, right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Oh well. So let's talk about this nani, and you know, I noticed some Jamaicans, they will say, you hear me, you know, like nani, but they actually use nani, yes or no, patwa, or it's the way they use it.
Yeah, I hear me. No. But when you bring up Nani, it brings memories to me because there's a famous Jamaican hero. She was a warrior, fighter, a spiritualist, and she helped the Maroons to wage war against their oppressor, the British. That helped to bring about, you know, freedom for the Maroons and sign a peace treaty. Her name was Sister Nani. Many people say that she's from Ghana. Be that as it may, I doubt it very much. But based on the pictures or the drawing they have of her and where her headscarf is tied and stuff, I would say Nana is not Nani. Right? Nani is closer to Nene. And we know Nene, Nana, and Ni, whenever you have the Ni on a word, it means like my.
Right.
Yeah, it means like my, like Abi is like my father. Umi is like, you know, it's like my mother. So Nani is like my mother. Because many of the Jamaicans, and especially Halpula, when we were taking a slave, we were Muslims. We were Muslims when we were taken out of Africa. So there's some Arabic words that are mixed with Halpula, because most of the Fulanis are Muslims.
Yes.
99%. Are Muslims. So they borrowed Arabic words. So like Jamaican use the word jinnal, you know, and then it comes from the Arabic word jinni. You know, and some people say, jinnal, they pronounce it with a G, and it's not a J like in Arabic. But if you speak Arabic and know Egyptian Arabic, you know the word Gene can be pronounced Gene. Right? So J and G it can be pronounced interchangeable. So you can say Juma, but you can say Guma. You can say Jamal, or you can say Gamal. You know, and so you can say Jinni, and you can say Jinni with a G. You know, it's the same thing, but it's not like there might be a tree word with the word Jannah, Jana, but it's not pronounced the way in tree as they pronounce it in Jamaica. The way they pronounce it in Jamaica is closer to the Fulani way of how they pronounce the word. And Jinni means somebody who is possessed. Or you call it in Arabic Majnun. Right? It means somebody who is kind of crazy. He's got a jinn, possession. Trinidad said he's a Jumbi. You know, he has a Jumbi. You know, so he'd
Faiti is pull out Faiti.
Yeah. So the word you know, jinnal, it comes from the Polar. So Anani. Do you hear me? No, I can't think of any word off of my head for Jamaica saying.
But what I'm saying is like how it's used, like for instance, in terms of the rhythm of the speech, as you were speaking of earlier, the speech pattern, and I noticed that the way it's used, like they'll talk, you hear me, you hear me, you hear me, and you know, in the way the Fulani talk, they'll say Anani, Anani. You know, it's the same rhythm of speech that I was referring to, that I hear when I listen to Jamaican speak. Yes.
Yeah, it's true. They do have that same which is another evidence that we got to look is how words are placed or the patterns of how the words are placed, even if it's in English and not necessarily an African language, but even the way they place the English. You know, like in American, they say, hey, what's up, man? What it is? You know, it ain't nothing, man. Same old, same old. You know, what it is. You know, what it is, what it was, and what it's going to be. They're speaking in triple tenses, which is an African, it's an African way. So sometimes, you know, when they say, you know, they'll say, understand. Yeah, man, you understand? You understand? You know, like, and we say, afami. Yeah, afami.
Yeah, afami.
Afami.
Yes.
So in turn upon them say, you know what I'm talking about. You understand, right? You understand. Or, you know, hear me, you hear me. Then they go on, hear what I say. Hey, yeah, hear what I say, you know. You know, American, they say, you dig? Yeah, you know, you dig? You dig? Right? So it's the same Africanization acting on the English.
Right. Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So yeah, we do have that. Yeah. And they will say hey, and they say hey, and in Senegal they say hey yo. Hey yo. Hey yo. You know, hey yo. You know.
Yes. So you mentioned some words. I think one was butu, and the other was dupi.
Oh, dopey. Yeah.
Dopey. Yeah. Dopey. Tell us about these words.
Yeah. The word butu. Yeah, butu. Like Jamaicans, when I was growing up, they used to say, go from ya butu. Ya butu. Butu. Right? Go ya butu. Right? But, and then when I went to Senegal and in West Africa, I hear them say, Anko Debo Butu. Anko Debo Butu. Right? Right?
Yes.
So, Butu, in Jamaica, many people translate it to mean that you're foolish. Ala hakile. You don't have sense. You're fool. Huh? So they use Butu for fool. But there's an adjective that come with fool. You're big and fool. You're big, you are big and foolish. So it's not just foolish, but you're big and foolish. You is a big fool. Right? So it still means big, butu. A kodebo butu means a lady who is fat. You know, a gorko butu means a guy, a big fat guy. So yeah, in Jamaica they still use the word butu. Also, there's a word that come to my mind that they used to use too. That's called bolo. They use the word bolo. Yeah, like there's a singer named Yami Bolo. Yami Bolo. But when I used to go to Calabar High School in Kingston on Redders Road, I used to go at lunchtime, and they used to have the food, you know, that they cook. That we call it bolo slush. You know, so like bolo, it means only. Right. But slush, it means like they cook up the food and mix up all kind of thing in there, you know. Like I think in Louisiana they have where they mix up the different thing. I forgot.
What do they call it? Gumbo or
something? Yeah, gumbo.
Yes.
You mix up a lot of things, a lot of spice and stuff. They call it gumbo. In Jamaica we call that bolo slush.
Bolo slush. Okay.
So bolo, the way they say bolo is the same way in like every morning they say I finished. I said jambolo. Jambolo. Yeah, jambolo.
Yes. And the thing is, what I noticed is we spoke about this before, that implosive B. You know, like bucker shot.
That's a ba basa theater. Yes. Yeah, that's a ba basa theater.
Yes.
Yeah, and my grandmother's name was Bernard, but she was called Miss B. Right. Wow, Miss B. Everybody said Miss B. Miss B. And they all everywhere was Miss B.
Yes.
You know, was her name, but the B, they just need to add the A on it, and it become ba.
Right.
But they love use the word B.
B.
That's why they love use the word B clot. I won't say it on TV. And they use the word beam bow. I won't say it on TV. But there you book.
Right.
And with Arabic, the B is pronounced.
Right.
You know, the B blurts itself out.
Right.
If you're going into Tajweed and you're learning how the sound of the word B, it pronounces itself.
Yes.
Huh?
And Pula.
Bismillah.
Yes.
Barakallah.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes. And then Pula is it's like there are two type of B's. Just like that. And I find that also in Jamaican Patwa.
It got the B with that thing on top of it, like a circle come around with a hook.
Yes.
And that means that B is more pronounced than the other regular B that don't have that hook on it.
Yes.
Limtu al pular, al kule pular. Yeah, you see that in the alphabet. When you're learning Fulani alphabet, you will see that double B, that B there.
So I want to close in case, I mean, you can add whatever you want. I just want to close on one last thing. You mentioned two last things actually. You mentioned a peon day, or pia, or a similar word inside Jamaican Patwa.
Yeah.
Share that with us.
Yeah, well, anybody who grew up in Jamaica in the 70s or 60s, or even to the 50s, or early 80s, we grew up on Cowboy and Indian movies. We grew up on that. So at the time when you were a little kid, you would play Cowboy and Indian. And so you would shoot at each other.
Yes.
But when we were little boys, we used to say, pew, 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 seem that, pew, pew that, seem that, pew, right, pew that. Right, we would say pew, and then that, so when they're hiding behind the wall or the tree or the mango tree, say, seem that, pew, that, right, that's so, pew. So in Pular, the word pian means to shoot.
Yes, or the beat. Pian. Yes. So
and the word duppy, the word duppy, the one of Bob Marley one of his greatest hit, the first hit that he came out in the 60s, and his second hit was Duppy Conqueror. If you are Bull Bucker, I am a Duppy Conqueror. Right, that was his song, Duppy Conqueror. That means, and Bull Bucker was, I think it was like rolling calf, those spirits that come. So he's saying if you come with
calf,
rolling calf. When we was a kid, we used to hide from rolling calf.
If I may interject before you go, don't lose that thought. Please don't lose that thought. But when you mentioned the Cowboy and Indians, Fulbe people pride themselves on cowboy culture. I mean, they get excited, particularly the nomads.
Yes.
They get excited when they hear about cowboy culture. I contacted some Fulani in Nigeria, and when they heard about the cowboy culture in Texas, they was like, I want to go to that place because of the cowboy, because they consider themselves cowboys because they walk with cattle.
Gainako, pull up night.
So the whole fascination with Cowboy and Indians, even my paternal uncle, you see him, of course, he looks like a poodle, and he named himself Cisco Kid, was after a cowboy, and he had the cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Similar to where the Fulani lived. Yeah. So just our fascination and the fascination with cowboy culture, which really comes from the fullback.
Yes.
It doesn't come from white people.
No, some historians
it does not come from white people. Like, cowboy culture.
The first cowboy was
Fulani culture.
A guy named York.
Yes.
I forgot his name. York. He was a cowboy, a black cowboy.
Yes.
York.
That is 100% Fulani culture. So that whole fascination speaks volumes to the psychology of descendants of Fulbe people. But continue on you were making a point.
Yeah, the duppy, bull bucker, and Fulani nai. You say call our bull, I forgot.
Okay,
you
come to
say
me.
bull?
Go ahead.
It's slipping me right now. But nai means cow,
Right.
but there's another name for bull, but I can't think of it right now.
Yes.
So, but
some say toro, and some I know for they
toro is Spanish.
It's Spanish too.
Toro.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think toro.
Nai. Yeah, no, nai. But anyway, a duppy conqueror, it means somebody who is powerful, is a mystical person. He has the power to conquer no matter what spirit you send at him to fight him.
Yes.
Then he said he can conquer it. So the word duppy, it means spirit. So if he said, I'm a conqueror, a duppy conqueror, that means whatever spirit you send, I will conquer it. You know, nowadays you have the gunman and the bad boys in Jamaica and the gangster. Them say, hey boy, don't mess with me, we make a duppy today, you know. I'll make your duppy fly out, right? Which means, you know, your spirit. So I saw in the dictionary, Pular, the dictionary Pular, the word duppa, D-U-P-P-A, duppa. And that means spirit. Right?
But what's also deep is that what you're describing is like when I was studying the initiations of a Gainako, one of the things is his ability to they call it sorcery, but his ability to conquer the animals, you know, to learn the language of the animals, and to be able to move his cattle through vicious wild beasts, and the cattle still survive. You know, moving through the water with the crocodiles, and it doesn't touch it. A sister from Ethiopia was telling me how fascinated they were with Fulbe people because they have lions in Ethiopia, and the Fulbe are able to move their cattle through the forest with the lions, and the lions will not touch it. So that's that type of spirit, like what you're describing is what the Gainako or the cattle herder is initiated into, how to keep the most vicious of animals at bay and get their cattle to where they need to go to graze and back.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. Jamaicans are fascinated with animals. You know, a lot of them grow goats, and you know, a lot of them have cows. And also, we had a lot of mongoose story with the mongoose. Because in Jamaica had a lot of snakes long time ago, and they brought a lot of mongoose to deal with the snake. And if you're going through initiation in the Halpular, like from Mali, you would go into the bull, and then the mongoose spirit will come to you and talk to you. Then when the mongoose spirit come and talk to you, then he'll teach you the pulaku, the way to act, the way to talk, and the teachings. And that religion was called Kumina, which is a religion in Jamaica, and the music they play, like in St. Thomas, Portland, they play Kumina. Simon Tutu, Simon Tutu, Simon Tutu, and then the other part of the drum play tickle, 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 which is the same rhythm the Fulani play on the water drum with the calabash. Tickle, 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 same rhythm. You know, so, and they call it Kumina. Some people try to say Kumina is from Zaire or from the Congo, but Mali, Fulani, they call them the Berber Pular. They have a tradition of Kumina.
Oh yes, the calabash too. Yes. So let's close with this last point in terms of the culture now. The dreadlocks. The dreadlocks. Tell me about the dreadlocks and the importance in Jamaican culture, because we always know when we think of Jamaicans, we think of dreadlocks. Yes.
Well, number one of the most common Fulani last name, Yetode. The most common. Like in Senegal, you have 4 big names. You have Ba, you got Jallo, you got Khan, and the 4th one is Ja. Ja.
Yeah.
You know, Ja is a common last name in Fulani, right? So you have Ja, and you have what you call it? People long time ago, the Fulanis used to keep their hair long, like the Wadabe people in Niger and Chad. The men grow their hair long; they keep their hair in long plaits, and part of the purpose of that is saying that I am available. You know. I'm available to, you know, be married or for other wives. Right. But when they cut it off and they don't wear none at all, that means I'm not available. Right. You know, so I'm not single. I'm not ready to mingle. You know, so, you know, so the wearing of the long hair, which is like a Rasta, wear long hair. They have, and I also. There's a lot of Rasta, people wear Rasta here in Senegal. They call them Baifal, from Sheikh Ibra Fall, Lam Fall. He was a disciple of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. Yeah, there's a segment of Mouridism which they wear dreadlocks. I've met many of them. I love talking to them because their culture is just like the same like Jamaican culture. They have the Rasta, what we call Rasta culture. But they are Muslims. You know, they don't believe in Haile Selassie. They believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But their culture is the same. You know, they love reggae music. A lot of them are musicians. They're great dancers. And they have long locks. Whenever I talk to them and I start asking them like, Tanarada Mako, Julio, like who's your great grandmother? I find out that they're Fula. So most of the Baifal that I know with long locks, they're usually Fula. Because Fulani people, they are, you could call them the long hair people, or like they say the Native American, my grandmother had long hair and all that, they say that in America. It's, we know Fulani people. It's not, I'm not disrespecting anybody, but if you travel throughout Africa, you know that there are many people that their hair doesn't grow that long. Their hair never grow more than probably like 3 inches or 2 inches. They don't have long hair. You know, just like there's some people don't have facial hair. It doesn't grow. So they have people that their hair don't grow. And, you know, and one of the ways we recognize Fula is when we see somebody with an afro or we see somebody with a lot of hair, then we automatically say, oh, that's Fula. So, you know, a lot of the people in Jamaica, they like Rasta people, they like long hair. And Fulani, they say the Fulani people were the long hair people. There's something that has been said all around.
And that's actually in the history of Futajalan. Prince Abdul Rahman, who they made the movie about, Prince Among Slaves, he had dreadlocks. And they said that during that time in Futajalan, it was the pride of the Fulani people, their dreadlocks. Their locks were their pride. So that's also a very, very key part of you know, this discussion. Okay, if there's anything you want to add, you could do so at this time. I think we covered pretty much a lot for the audience to
I'm just going to add in one last piece, but maybe we could come back. Genealogy. I wanted, maybe that's another show by itself. But I'm appealing to my Jamaican people. Don't rely on the history books. They are written with false information. There's technology now. We have artificial intelligence now. You don't have to rely on those books. Because if I write something in a book, then people say, oh, it's in the book. Because I write it. But if I don't write it, but I know it, then you're going to say that, oh, it's not true because it's not written. We are people of oral history. We come from an oral tradition all the way from the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Quran was preserved orally, and then it was written down after. So you have some people thinking that if something is not written in a book, then it can't be true. Right? So, and many things written in book are not true because
true.
somebody written it in the book
Yes.
doesn't necessarily mean it's true.
Yes, that is
So somebody written a book that Jamaicans come from Ghana, you don't have to believe it. I don't see the proof there.
Right.
I don't see the evidence. And 100 people in America, celebrities, did their DNA, and only about 10 of them were connected to Ghana. Right? 90 of them were elsewhere. We came from all over West Africa.
Yes.
Why we gotta, what's this allure with Ghana? Because they speak English?
Right.
You know, we got Guinea-Bissau, we got,
Yes.
you know, we got Cote d'Ivoire,
That's right.
we got Guinea, we got
Gambia.
we got Mauritania,
Yes,
we
that's
got,
right.
you know, Angola,
That's right,
you know, we got Nigeria. We got a lot of different places that our people come. What is this allure with Ghana?
Right. Right.
Ghana is not the only country in West Africa. There's a lot of other countries we came from and played. Mali.
Right.
Many of us are descendants from the people of Mali.
Yes.
You know, it's so, and many of us are from Guinea too.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
yes,
you know, from Futa.
Yes.
You know.
So what's interesting that you mentioned Ghana. I don't know how far back it goes,
Yeah.
but if and again, yes, this could be a whole another discussion altogether. Ancient Ghana and present day Ghana are two different places.
Yes, exactly.
So ancient Ghana actually
yeah.
covers part of Mali.
Yes.
I believe parts of Senegal, if I'm not mistaken, and they were either bordered present day Mauritania or was a part of present day Mauritania. So so if our ancestors said that they were from ancient Ghana, then that's a different place then. And you have to, and people really have to understand that is a totally different place, location, geographically, than present day Ghana.
Let me try to add to that, because you had the Empire of Mali, you had the Empire of Ghana.
Ancient Ghana, yes.
Yeah, and you had the Songhai Empire.
Yes.
Right, Ghana Empire that precedes the country that we call Gold Coast, that they later called Ghana.
Right.
During the time of slavery, there was no Ghana.
Right.
There was no existence of any place called, that people came from Ghana.
Right.
The name Ghana is added long time, but before that, during the Mali Empire, you had before that the Ghana Empire.
Yes.
And some people they're so in love with their lore of Ghana, they say, oh, the word Ghana come from Ga, from the Ga people in Ghana. So Ghana. What it comes from, the word Ghana comes from the Arab, from Ghani, which means the rich. It's one of the name of Allah. Allahu Ghaniyu. So the name Ghana Empire, it comes from one in the name of Allah. It means Ghani.
Right, rich.
But they say Ghana means rich because it was rich. Mansa Musa, one of the richest men ever walked this earth. That's where the empire came from.
Yes, Ghana.
And they rule all throughout West Africa.
Yes, in fact, Ghana, believe it or not, Ghana and Guinea are really the same word.
Yes.
Ghana and Guinea are the same word. It's just that one is a French pronunciation of the Arabic, and the other is an English pronunciation. Guinea, Ghana come from the Arabic word, as he says, which means rich. And that's why you have several countries with the name. You have Ghana, you have Guinea, you have Guinea-Bissau, you have Equatorial Guinea, and you have the one out in the Asia, Papua New Guinea.
Papua New Guinea.
And the reason why they name it after that, because they all means rich. They found riches there, and really, Puerto Rico is a spin-off of the same name, the port of the rich. So it's like, so all these things are all connected, but it comes from that Arabic word.
Ghana.
Ghana. Yes.
So,
yes.
Employ Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad al-Fatih lima awla wa qati lima sabba nasr al-haqq bil-haqq wal hadi ila siratul mustaqim alayhi haqqa al-rimit al-azim subhana rabbika al-izzati amma yusifun wa salamun al-mursalin alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Shukran ala jarama bandara bandam sayla gilam ajarama.